see if I have this decent enough where um yeah, what time is it? I know it's like real early, and I know I said I was gonna come on here at 10 o'clock, but today my brain is on fire. And then I had said 10 o'clock, but I didn't say Central Standard Time. So I might just have everybody all throw it off. So I know y'all can watch this um video later. So um yeah, and I really don't expect to have that many people on here tonight. So the reason why I decided to go live that way is natural, is happening, is no editing, it's no let me put the fancy music in and the inserts and the cards and all of this. Is just me as me, and you getting the real me as I'm here. So it is Monday. It is August the 19th, and it's 2019. It is 8:49 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am in Texas. So today was day one of a training class, and my brain hurts. So you know that first day for any type of training, and some things you probably have already had, and you have to like sit through. Oh my God, I know this information already. Why do I have to sit through this? So it's a kind of a little bit like that, but not all of it was like that. So it was some things that I needed to hear about, and some things that, oh yeah, crap, I forgot about that. If I use, this type of filter or this type of goggles, and I can get a, not manipulate. I need to enhance the evidence in order for me to visualize what it is I'm trying to see. So if I have this object, this evidence, this shirt, or whatever it is that has blood on it, I need to take away the red to in order to see what's underneath. If there's like a bullet hole or something, so I can photograph it. So one thing is, I'm about to snatch this wig off right here, right now. I'm trying to keep it on, but it will be off in a few minutes. So that's one thing about CSI. It's like we can't rush. We have to take our time, and we may not remember everything that we need to do, but we will remember the gist of what we need to do, what we need to photograph, what we need to collect. Who we need to talk to before we start picking up anything. So one thing about this training class is just basically another tool in the toolbox for us to use when we're photographing. So some people may look at the TV shows and it may be like, oh, they go from here to here and they run after the bad guys and they put it in a machine and then bam, it give you all the answers. Dude, I really, really, really wish, but that's not the case. It's not what you see on a lot of these programs. Yeah, sometimes they do get some of the information from real life CSI or criminalists or detectives or whatever. So I think some of these shows take many different positions of people and make them into one character, or they make this one super character that look like they can figure it all out, and it's not like that. It's a whole group of people that comes together to solve a case, and it's not just one person. It's teamwork, and stuff. So sometimes what I like to tell people is we are the record keeper, the bookkeeper. So we basically just photograph everything as it. We're not there to provide guilt or innocence or whatever. We are there as CSI. We are there to document what it is that need to be documented and make sure everything is collected. So that way, if someone who is innocent and they're trying to prove them guilty, well, as a CSI, I'm on the scene, and then you have that person that probably do the lab work, the DNA person. They got to do their part. They got to understand what it is they're reading, the tools. So, you know, um, it's a lot, and you can basically take forensics in many different levels. So today was just about, now come back around. Today was just about getting to know the camera. So The camera meaning the UV, IR, ultraviolet, infrared, what we can see as I'm looking here, all the colors that I can see. But it's things below that and things above that in the color spectrum that we can't see with our naked eye. So we need tools to put in the toolbox to be able to visualize that. So we are actually using a Fuji camera TX1. I don't have my book. I don't have my book with me right in front of me, but I will have it tomorrow. But anyway, so that helps enhance what we can see on the information that we need to collect and photograph and stuff. So this way we don't have to be looking around big old poly lights and turn all the lights off and then take the blue light and try to see. This camera is like this big and it's all built in one, and it's basically, like I said at the beginning, a tool for the toolbox that help us do our job. So today we're just basically just getting familiar with the camera, learning the buttons and the settings, because on a regular DSLR the buttons are basically in the same spot, but some of the buttons do things a little different. So today we're just basically getting adjusted to the camera, the settings, where everything was at, how it looks, how it works. It's a mirrorless camera. Just realizing what I see on the screen is what I get, and not waiting for it to click or wait till I get back. When I first started in this field 21 years ago, it was 35 millimeter. So I only got 24 shots, then I had to hurry up and, put another roll of film in and make sure I didn't lose that one, mark that one, whatever it was. So forensics and forensic photography has come a long way. Um, it's it's a growing pain when you have to learn new things, but once you get that technique down, or you know like anything else, you struggle in the beginning until you be like, oh yeah, that's right, I remember I do that like that. But the problem is, on forensics and on crime scene, we don't get that to do over again. Once we leave that scene, that is it. So before we go out on the scene anyway, we're gonna know what kind of call it is, what's gonna be the major players in this, what's the major area in this. So it give us time to think, okay, what do we need? What do we need to bring? What do I need to collect? What do I need to make sure I do? So you can jot down little notes, and as you work your scene, you come more proficient in it. You will know, okay, these are the next steps. Or if it's things that you bring back to your lab, if that lab is set up like at my lab, we don't do DNA, we don't do toxicology. We have to send that somewhere else. So my job is to make sure I photograph it, collect it, package it the right way so it can get where it needs to go. So yeah, it's just like I said before, it's just one of those things that I've known people that have gotten into this field, spent so much money um on a degree in forensics, and had their first decomp, and they were like, nope, not doing it, can't swing it anymore. Or they go to a certain agency and they're not doing what they thought, or how long it would take them. So everything is just different, agency by agency and stuff. So it's not bad, it's just different. And now with all the programs and Dateline and First 48 and on the case and just so many things, it's so competitive. But one thing I tell people, just don't give up. Just keep trying. Go to school, get your feet wet, get in. Even if you got to go work in a jail, go work in dispatch. Learn the lingo. Just learn about law enforcement, because the only way we can make a change in our community, we have to be part of the solution and not constantly being part of the problem. And it's just to the point where like, oh, they innocent, oh, they guilty, they need to figure it out right now. It's a process, and it's not as quick as we would want things to be, but it's a process. So, and for me, I enjoy doing my job the best way I can to bring closure or peace or something, to those other family members and stuff out there, because I have never shied away from this. Everybody know my dad was murdered. If you go back to some of my videos, I don't know when I said them, my dad was murdered in New Orleans. So for me, I guess I never realized um, that's how all of this really came about outside of being nosy and everybody business or whatever. But I am a victim of the thing that I do, and for me, I know what those family members are going through. I know what they're feeling. I know the hurt and the pain and everything, and the hate that they're feeling if their loved one was taken away from something senseless and stupid. I get that. I also understand when, elderly grandparents and parents pass away and everybody. So you know how to respect people private space, and how to just like tell them, okay, I know this is a real difficult, situation, or this is going to be a difficult time, but I may need to ask you some questions, or I may need to go in the area of your home, just to let you know, is it okay that I go here? And that's one good thing about where I work, and even at my old agency, it was a team. And before I would go to another room or another area, either all the family will be out, or if the family was in, it was in another area. It just, each scene is different. Like you hear people say with law enforcement, no traffic stop is routine. Same thing for me. Nothing is routine. I may be doing the same processes, but the steps may be different to get to the same end result. So something will be different, in that respect or whatever like that. So it's just it just all depends. It really just all depends on the scene. Some scenes I'm there for an hour. Some I may be there 2 or 3 days. I may end up going back to the scene, and because we can get a search warrant, and depending on the nature of the call, the search warrant may give us as long as we need. Sometimes the search warrant may say 24 hours. It may just say only these things. So it just all depends. Some people may want to do forensics and not be on the field or on the scene like I am. They may just want to work behind the scene. They want to be the person that tell you what chemical components are in these drugs. They may be the person that want to do the serology, do the rape kits, those different things. They may be the person that want to say if there was the DNA at the scene. So it could go many different ways. I just choose to be out in the scene. And I also do the fingerprint analysis. So where I am, I do both. So if I'm not going out to a call, to a scene, then I'm back at the PD looking at fingerprints and stuff. So, and I have always said this in all my videos, each agency in every state, wherever, does something different. Some agencies, their CSI is commissioned officers, some are civilians. Everything is different. So I do tell a lot of people to go to this website. Is crime-scene-investigator.net. Don't worry about all the other stuff there, but if you just click on the tab that says employment, and then you look down, you can see all the different agencies that's hiring, what their requirements are, the minimum requirements, and then it kind of like give people an idea. Okay, if I want to go back to school, I can do this. If I want to get in this field, this is what they're requiring for you to work nights, weekends, whatever it is. I know some people that just want to work in the records room and just work with, giving out the police reports and doing the background checks. They work Monday through Friday, every weekend holiday off, and that's what they want. They are still part of solving the case because they have to keep up with those records. They have to make sure that that information was documented right. So they get to read and see the same things that we do. They just don't go out on a scene. So when you talk about forensics and police work and criminal justice all together, everybody is one big team. Is not out to get one person. Is either to give closure to the family, prove a person innocent, prove a person guilty of the crime they committed. It's one big spectrum of everything. So it's not, I would say law enforcement as a whole is for anyone who wants to make a difference in their community. It's for anyone who wants to have a career where they help someone in some capacity. You have victim advocates, you have detention center, you have the same thing as a jail. What else you have? You have secretaries. They have to keep up with papers and I mean, it's so many different avenues. You have admin assistants. Everybody plays some crucial part to either running the PD, making sure we get supplies that we need. Making sure the chain of custody, like working in the property room. I mean, you could go 15 different ways with this, and then like for people who want to do like forensic accounting and all of that. Okay, if you like accounting, then you take some more classes, then you can start your business and can be forensic account. It can go many different ways. So the training that I had today is just one of those things, like I have always said, yes, go to college, get your degree. Most of y'all know I got my degree in 2016. So I was already in the field, but I didn't have a degree in that. My degree that I finally got was in liberal arts. I would just like take all of these credits. What can I get with it? Because this job is on the job training. And y'all heard me say that many times before. No book can't prepare you for what you see, what you smell, what you touch. Depending on the situation, you feel like you can taste it and you're trying to, just not think about it. But it's continuing education. I'm always in training. I'm always reading. I'm always, looking through the journal. So it's interesting. So after 21 years, sometime I sit there and ask myself, how much more time do I have? And so with Tristan being in middle school, I know I'm gonna probably be working another 7 to 10 years and stuff like that. So I can see myself in this field another 10 years, so they give me 30 years altogether. Sometimes when I think about them, I'm like, damn, 30 years? And I can't say I'm doing the same thing. It's because every time something is different. Yes, the workload from being in New Orleans to being now in Texas is totally different. The workflow is the same. It's just the work is just different. It's not as busy. I'm not going call to call. I don't have a bunch of, people that I work with there in the lab like I do here, because it's a smaller city and stuff like that. I wasn't purposely trying to go to a smaller agency. It's just where I landed, after Katrina and stuff. So I won't take up too much time. Y'all know my spiel. I don't like those long drawn out videos, but I just wanted to jump in here really quick live. Like I said, I didn't have time to be trying to insert videos and put stuff together. So I just thought this would be a easier way for this training and stuff. So I hope I see you again. I shall come in tomorrow close to around this time. We're going to say 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. And if there's any questions I can answer, like one young lady, she want me to email her, but I probably email her when I get back home and stuff, because it'd probably be easier for me to answer her that way. So until tomorrow, Tuesday, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, I guess I'll follow up to tell you what's going on. But until then, y'all have a good evening.